Alright everybody, Big Papa Timo here. We're playing some Farming Simulator 19 and we're going to start with a new series of videos, 15-minute farmer. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run for 15 minutes showing you all sorts of different things about Farming Simulator 19. Right now I am at my Mercury Farms Forestry location. I have the Scorpion King, I have the T-Rex, I have a pickup truck, and I have the small wood selling station. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start cutting down some trees. Now the Scorpion King takes a little getting used to. But once you kind of master this particular device, it is a great feller buncher. This machine is absolutely awesome. Alright, so we're going to grab the tree low. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to back straight up. Now we've got it cut to, we want to cut this down to 6 meters. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut directly onto the platform. So this is one single tree. There we go. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here. And we're going to sell the wood. And we got $4,319 from a single tree cut to 6 meter lengths. That's not too shabby if you ask me. Now it's a little difficult for me to see in the shade here, so I'm actually going to turn on the lights. Alright, gotta turn our device on. Get closer to said tree. Like I said, it takes a little while getting used to this. Now once you've got it so that the cut shows up, you're in a good location. Try not to go too low. Raise the tree up just a little bit. Now if you can get this to just drop your logs right down in this location, you're good to go. Now I want to see what the difference is on two different trees at the same length. And then we're actually going to change the length real quick to verify that 6 meters is the right one. $4,545, that was a better tree. Not too shabs. Now, like I said, once you get used to how this machine works, it's super useful because it cuts out the need to transport a lot of these. Now let's change this to 7 meters. And see what happens to the price of the tree. Gotta get every little bit. $43.83. Now we're gonna have to do another one just to get kind of an average because we did 2 on the last one and we're not sure if it's the size of the trees, how much length we got out of it, or if that was just a true value. Make sure you get pretty low. There is always an optimal length for every save or every game that you're playing. Sometimes it's 8 meters, sometimes it's 4. Depends on what the seed value of the sawmill is. Alright, so that's number 2. 45-34, so that's... Honestly, I don't know if it's going to make a difference between 6 or 7 meters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this back down to 6. And we're going to go with that. Now, the reason I have these two particular pieces of equipment, the Scorpion King is obviously our feller buncher. We're going to use this to take the trees down, transport them back over to the selling station, and it's going to do the majority of the work. But once you're done cutting down trees, you're left with a whole bunch of stumps, and you can use a regular stump grinder that is available on all sorts of different models of tractors. But I've found that the Lizard T-Rex, alright, I put myself in a horrible position there, guys. There we go. The T-Rex, I'll show you what that does in just one moment. I'm going to cut this one up. Now once we get in full-blown operations, this will go a lot smoother. Pretty much just clearing the closest trees to the selling station now. 4,171. Now, for the T-Rex, again, I'm going to turn on some lights. Now, you got to be careful with this machine because that is a huge grinder on the front. And when you hit pretty much any form of a tree, it will take it right out. Now see, that one I went over the top of it because it wasn't set low enough. So sometimes you're going to need to back up, push on it, but then it magically makes that stump disappear. Now this will keep us from bouncing around on the Scorpion King while we're doing that. But I am going to show you something very interesting about this particular piece of machinery that I learned the hard way. Now, you see what it does to stumps, but let's go ahead and see what it does to just a full-blown tree. Tree go by. Tree disappeared. Now it doesn't do anything for brush or anything else like that. You don't have to worry about those types of things. But you do have to be careful not to bump into trees. It will take trees out really quickly, and it will also take cut lumber on the ground very quickly. So if you accidentally cut down a tree and you don't have something to move it with, you don't want to move it by hand, and you don't mind losing a little bit of money, you can of course use the T-Rex to just dispose of it. Now of course you will not get any money for it, but at least it won't be in your way anymore. Now one of the other cool things about the game is it does have what we call a wood magnet. That means as soon as you get within a certain gripping distance, it just grabs hold of that tree. Again, takes a little getting used to the controls. The trick of this is just to get the wood cut into the sales box and you're good to go. One of the biggest tricks that I've found is getting used to your location and your point of view, because you have a lot of camera angles available, and what you want to end up doing is, I found it easiest if you turn your machine like so, or you can do it on the other side depending on what the position of your selling station is. And then you're going to approach all of your trees like this from now on, so that when we get over here, see, that's ready to cut right off the bat. Then you just lift up just a little bit and back away, and then just drag it straight to your selling station. Lift up a little bit, because you don't want to actually bounce things out of the way. And just cut and drop. And you can very easily do multiple trees this way. If you find out you have too many of them on the ground, just go ahead and sell them. $812 for 2 trees. Not too shabby. Now you notice we started out with about 200,000 in funds. Then we're already up to 237. Now the Scorpion King will gladly drive right over just about anything, so bear that in mind as well. It doesn't have trouble going over too many stumps, but I just personally find it a little annoying. And then of course the the articulated drive on this does get a little confusing at times. It's been a while since I've actually used one, so bear with me guys. I do apologize. But hopefully you're getting a pretty good feeling for the basic operations of forestry within Farming Simulator 19. And it's really not as complicated as most people think. It is relatively expensive though, because these pieces of equipment are not cheap in game. The Scorpion King is pretty expensive, and I'll show you that in just one quick moment. Just get this last one cut up real quick. And I'll show you where to find the equipment in the menu. So if you go here to Forestry Equipment, whoops, I was already on it. Scorpion King's 440,000 and the Lizard T-Rex is 190. Thanks for stopping by. Check out my other videos, and thanks for enjoying 15-minute farming.